Yo, what is up, everybody? I just wanted to make a quick video here about the Necromancer, doing a Necromancer fire build. There's been a lot of chatter about fire builds with like the new unique chess piece that came out in this patch, which is really awesome. And I think most of them kind of revolve around Flame Wraith, but I have a version that I'm sure other people are using too, but it's a little bit less, I think, known. And even if it is known, I think that people find it to be kind of an annoying setup. But I just wanted to get right into it here and kind of just showcase the archetype and kind of just get the idea out there so people can play with it. Just like my Swarmblade build, this is a build that doesn't require any uniques to play with. So I'm a level 68, brand new fresh character. I just got to monoliths and I'm working through them, and basically whenever you do that in hardcore, the biggest and most important thing is you have critical strike avoidance. Getting to cap is like, you know, almost a necessity on hardcore, especially as you start in the early monolith system. So anyway, this build revolves around the following skills here. Basically our main damage is going to be our Pyre Golem, and we're utilizing Bone Kindling here. Another damage modifier that we're using is, or rather damage ability, excuse me, is Infernal Shade. And Infernal Shade is our damage, so that's, you know, kind of something to consider, being that we're mainly a minion build. However, we do have some of our own damage going on too. And we spread that by using the, this one, Effigy of Combustion. So when the zombie explodes, it casts Infernal Shade on the enemy it hit or a nearby enemy. And so anyway, the whole mechanic, or rather loop, of this build is we have our Pyre Golem, and we summon skeletons. We summon just 2 clicks, and we summon our full 6 skellies. We convert the tree to have them be just warriors, so that way they're always in melee range. And then as you can see, oh, we missed one. But as you can see, the golem, whenever he casts the AoE aura that the Pyre Golem has, and he hits these skeletons, he consumes them just like that. And when that happens, we get like a really beefy aura going on. So this guy basically just does all of our damage at that point, and our job is to just resummon the 6 minions, and then he consumes them again. And then when that happens, we have the node for the zombies where the zombies come out of the ground, and then they jump and attack, and then they spread our Infernal Shade. And so this is kind of, you know, automated, or it's like at least like meant to be. You will have to, if you play this build, still summon volatile zombies. So it's actually like my main damaging ability. So as I'm running through maps and I have all my bone golems, or rather my skeletons summoned from my bone golem, I will be casting just you know, one of these guys every now and then, because the way our Infernal Shade works is that when it the target that it dies, the target that it's attached to dies, it moves to a new target. So that's really handy. So like you only have to cast one of these, and then it'll pretty much clear out a whole area. So it's kind of an interesting build, and I'm interested to see how it scales going into monoliths and empowered monoliths. Mainly just because I really wanted to utilize like shared fire damage. I haven't really done a shared minion ability before, or minion setup before. So I thought this was a good opportunity to try to test out the synergistic, you know, character builds where you're utilizing your own type of damage. You know, for example, this is just like my leveling. I just got this last night. Basically, it has, you know, damage for me, but also has minion damage as well. So our Infernal Shade is actually doing a respectable amount of damage just based off of all the intelligence that we have. The majority of our damage is coming to, or rather trying to scale the minion damage. So minions by far like the most damage, but you know, the dot effect is really nice. Like I kind of look at it as like a culling strike effect, and then it also does do really good consistent damage for single target as well. Excuse me. So yeah, anyway, as I was talking about, the main loop is to just like summon these minions, or rather the skeletons, and you know, you can kind of just run around, and you know, you can opt to use the minion, you know, command button to move them, but I don't find it necessary because for like 90% of the time it just happens automatically and I don't even have to think about it. The only thing I have to really worry about is like my mana regen. This is a really like heavy mana intensive setup. So you want to watch out for your mana use. And the crazy good thing about this cycle is that when these skeletons die, it actually pretty much replenishes our mana like all the way. So it just happened right there actually. And the other way we're generating mana too is from Transplant. We're specialized into Transplant, mainly just for Bone Armor when we do cast it, and then this Pale Blood node. I use that whenever I'm in a pickle and I'm like out of mana. I will just Transplant, get some mana back. That at least lets me cast, one of these abilities. So yeah, it's a pretty fun build. It's kind of just the initial stages. I'll have a Last Epoch link to my setup as it is right now. Mind you, this is just a level 68 character, so the defenses are really solid for a level 68 character in hardcore, but you're basically just building on armor, health, ward retention. You can have a shield, you can have a ward retention offhand. It's up to you. And then we're just going to try to get as much armor. And the reason why we get ward retention is because we can get the ward on death. Isn't that a node? Maybe it's not a node anymore. I thought it was. But anyway, in our points over here, we're using Mania of Mortality, excuse me. And then we're also using this one here just to basically whenever we're mapping, and a lot of our minions are dying all the time, so we're constantly getting like an additional ward on top of our health, which is really nice. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this idea. I know Fire Necromancer is really kind of an interesting idea, and some people aren't really sure exactly what the best way to go about it is. So I'm interested to build on this idea and see how far the damage can scale. But anyway, good luck guys, and hope you have a great day.